the Legacies of Biafra exhibition. I thought I might just say a few words about where the exhibition is coming from, as this is the third show that we've had. We've been in conversation with the Iwalewa House about bringing the exhibition here for a number of years. I think we began the conversation back in 2018. We first had, our first exhibition was at the Vernissage Gallery in SOAS back in 2018, and it emerged out of a conversation around why, particularly the Nigeria-Biafra War, wasn't remembered in the same way that other wars were often remembered and commemorated. So in a conversation with Hassan and Chike from the Nigerian Art Society UK, we began thinking about ways in which we could hold space, ways in which we could engage with and use art and also literature, which is my background, my academic background, to open up spaces where people could reflect, could remember, and could engage with the war in different ways, in meaningful ways. Within the Nigerian context, often war is something that's avoided in conversations in public. There's many legacies of the war, but they don't really, there isn't really the space to have this conversation. So part of what we're looking at is how we can use art as a way of having a difficult conversation, so creating the space for that conversation. And in the shows that we've had thus far, we've seen actually how important it is to hold space. One of the things that has struck me about this exhibition is that it enables people to engage with the war in ways that are comfortable for them, ways that allow them the space to interpret. We've had exhibitions where we see families come into the gallery space, parents who maybe have experienced the war but haven't been able to speak to their children about it. And by engaging with these artworks, it allows, say, somebody who has difficulty speaking about the war to focus on artwork and actually reflect their experiences onto that work. So I've seen how this exhibition has been transformational. It's been an honour to work on this exhibition. It's been an honour to work with the artists of Nassau, many of whom are here today. It's been an honour to work with colleagues at the Iwalewa House. We've made multiple visits over the years, and there are many faces, people that we've seen who aren't here today or who aren't here in this space anymore, but who've assisted us. This has really been a journey for us. It's been an important journey. Unfortunately, the topic of war that we're speaking about today is still extremely relevant, and every time we've had this exhibition, there is another war happening in this world. And so, even though this exhibition focuses on the Nigeria-Biafra war, it's relevant to broader conversations around conflict, around survival, around resilience, around violence against civilians. I mean, there's many examples that, hopefully, when engaging with the exhibition, it will resonate with many people. The exhibition wanted to focus on people, the human story, on individuals, and sort of not focus so much on the big man politics, but actually think about how does war impact individuals and communities, and that's one of the things that we've really tried to do. So I'm just going to say a very quick thank you, because Hassan will be doing the vote of thanks for us. He's currently. But a couple of big thank yous. First of all, thank you to the Nassau artists, especially Hassan, who's juggling millions of things and has sort of worked incredibly hard, as has Chike and many of the other artists. And thank you to Katerina Groban at the Iwalewa House, who's been absolutely phenomenal in putting up with us and our often chaotic ways of working, but it's all come together in the end. But she's been absolutely brilliant. And of course to Sigrid as well, for all her support over the years. For all the support over the years working with us. And thank you all for joining us today. And I'll hand over to Hassan Aliyu.
Well, it's great to be here, and finally we have the Legacies of Biafra exhibition displayed. For me, I feel very emotional about the exhibition being on display, particularly as I was born in London in 1964. And the day I came home from the hospital, having spent 3 months in an incubator, my family was evicted from the dwelling where we lived. And the landlady said, "Esther," which is my mom's name, "I told you, no children in this house. And you've gone and brought 2. Back in those days, the mother didn't know how many children she had because the technology for scanning wasn't there as it is today. And when we got to the house and we were evicted, instantly my first day out of the hospital ward was a day spent as a homeless person. And as a result, my parents had to take us, send us to Nigeria to live with their parents. And within a few weeks, the war broke out. So I'm one person who grew up without the benefit or the pleasure of being cuddled by my mom, of seeing the relationship, the wonderful relationship Louisa has with her son. My mom never experienced that with me. Sometimes I look at her and look at Ikem, her son, and it's just a delight to me for that reason. Such a small thing for many people, but such a significant thing for a person who never had that. Many of the artists who have made work for this exhibition have their own stories. Chike's brother was born when Chike was 10 years old. His brother was only a baby when the war broke out. And he had to take on the responsibility of carrying the brother, running from their home into the bushes, into the jungles to escape the hostility of bombs dropping on their family home and dropping on them. No food to eat. No luxury of mom's milk, because the milk was depleted because there was no food for mom to eat to produce milk. I got to Nigeria at a time when the war was actually in full swing and the Midwest of Nigeria had fallen to the Biafra forces. And immediately I was told that we had to evacuate our village. We had to go on a long trek to hide from the evil Biafra forces who had taken over the Midwest of Nigeria. So I have a lived experience of the war, which sadly I've never had the opportunity of sharing with anybody because nobody had the courage to talk about Biafra until now. Our Legacies of Biafra exhibition remains the most significant engagement with the theme of the Nigeria-Biafra War, which was an offshoot of colonialism, amongst many other factors of independent ethnic nations who, up until the time of independence and sort of up to the time of colonialism, had their own administrative structures, their own kings, monarchies, etc., forced by Britain to form a country. And the repercussions of colonialism remains an enduring legacy that Nigeria still grapples with up to this day. So for me, the sentimentality of having my exhibition in Bayreuth, which is only an hour's drive away from Nuremberg, where the conversation around the Second World War's evils were deliberated, but Nigeria has never had the chance or the opportunity to do this. Many of the artists who are involved in this exhibition come from different parts of Nigeria, and the benefit of that sort of wide, diverse perspectives in terms of the reaction and response to the exhibition becomes an opportunity that hopefully can be shared and expanded to discussing the differences in our country, hopefully with the intention that we will have a country that is able to negotiate its relationship amongst its different ethnicities and nations to found an arrangement that works for all, that fosters harmony for prosperity. I would like to thank Ivaneva House deeply. Sigrid has been most instrumental to this exhibition. The initial show at the Brunei Gallery was the first contact we had with Ivaneva House, where we had work borrowed from its collection. We had works by Obiora Chiku, who was very active in the war effort on the Biafra side, including the graphics kind of department, creating prints and his work, lending his art to sharing the experience of Biafra during those 3 horrible years. We had the privilege of including Iweleva's House's collection in that exhibition. And the idea occurred to say, hang on, this is only an hour away from Nuremberg, and the relevance of the war to this institution cannot be overstated. So we said to come bring the exhibition here. But an Amazon of a woman who has made this possible is Catalina Greven. She has been unbelievable, and she doesn't deserve the right of first place. She has been an unbelievable asset beyond my wildest imagination as to how a human being can be so committed to a project, buying into it so wholeheartedly, and pursuing it with every intention of making it such a wonderful exhibition that has become, as you will see. I would like to thank Vernissage House and recognize the artists from their collection who are included in the exhibition, because our show is a conversation between the collection of Vernissage House and the responses that the artists have made to the Legacies of Biafra. Artists such as Chike Anyako, El Anatsui, Chuk Anyamu, Chikazonye, Chinwechukogoroy, Amifel Cliff Eribo, Uzo Ekuru, Imoisi Imonige, Middle Art, Tony Nikamu, Onyema Ofoedoe Okeke, Olu Ogwebe, Edosa Ogigo, Adeogunimo, Simon Okeke, Uche Okeke, Obi Okibo, Chinze Ojobo, Ondubisi Ola, Ben Onyemaobi, Raymond Soko, Obiora Dechiku, and Chiwo Washe. We thank you all for making such a spectacular and significant exhibition, which hopefully will go to other significant venues around the world. Thank you very much. Our thanks also go to Child Migrant Story, My Biafra Projects, for their content which is included in the exhibition. Thank you once more. Thank you.